Joining me now, two members of that committee, Democrat Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota and Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Senators, thanks so much for being with us and being with us together. I feel like every time a Democrat and a Republican appear together, an angel gets its wings. So thank you for
there
that.
You go. You're welcome.
Senator Klobuchar, first to you. You want to see Mark Zuckerberg. You think he should come before your committee and say what?
I think he should explain to the American people how this happened, how many people were hurt, and most importantly, how they're going to fix it. Because you just can't have 50 million Americans have their private data exposed without their permission. A couple 100,000 of them may have answered a quiz by a Russian-American professor that somehow Facebook decided could have access to the data. And this is what's happened. And I think you have a product which has been designed without a lock or without an alarm, and big surprise, some of the bad guys have gotten in. And so he needs to explain that, as well as the fact that we don't get support for our Honest Ads Act that I have with Senator McCain and Warner, which would simply put the social media sites on the same rules of the game as you see for print media and radio, TV ads.
You know, Senator Kennedy, if you're one of these 50 million users who's got your information now in the hands of Cambridge Analytica, first of all, you don't know. You know, we don't know if you're one of those people there, but why should you be concerned?
Well, Facebook's a great company, but it's no longer a company. It's a country. That's how powerful it is. And its behavior lately has kind of been getting into the foothills of creepy. My interests are larger than Cambridge Analytica. I want to know to what extent, if any, those of us on Facebook live in a contrived universe created by Facebook, sort of like Truman on The Truman Show. I want to know if Facebook's been a good steward of our data. I want to talk with Facebook about the bargain we struck with Facebook. We know what we get. We get free access to the site. What does Facebook get? And finally, I want to explore how we preserve the good things about Facebook, and there are good things, but how we preserve the good things about Facebook while thwarting the bad things, the abuse of data, the spreading of poison on the internet. Of course, the problem becomes you get into First Amendment issues quickly when you talk about poison. The real issue is not is poison being spread. The real issue is what is poison. One person's trash is another person's treasure. The
foothills of creepy, I think, are located right near the river of sin. Senator Klobuchar, Facebook, has it been...
Good Louisiana.
I'm not going to get into the geographical fight there. We'll leave that to you. I'm just thrilled you guys are together. I don't want to break up this team. Look, Senator Klobuchar, has Facebook been forthcoming with you?
Well, they have made some changes to put disclaimers on political ads, things like that. But they have sent their lawyers and their lobbyists, right, John? I mean, that's who they've sent. And we think the head of the company should come. Of course, we also want to hear from Cambridge Analytica and Alexander Nix and the people involved in that. But the issues with the social media companies really are broader than just this one incident, as horrible as it is. We have been calling for them to come before us as late as last week, before this exploded. The two of us called for them to come before the committee. This is not just a place that you put cat videos on, as much as we love that, or that you put on your recipes. This has become a political marketplace, and just as we look at if people put bad tomatoes on people's shopping carts, you've got to figure out, are there some rules of the road here where you've got some rules if someone says, oh, hey, I'm going to give my information to an app provider, maybe you've got to be able to understand what that means and where that information is going.
Senator Klobuchar, you know, Senator Kennedy says it's not really about Cambridge Analytica. He's more concerned about Facebook here. I'm not sure you had a chance to watch British TV overnight, but this expose that Channel 4 did, Senator Klobuchar, on Cambridge Analytica, where Alexander Nix, you know, the chair there, seen on TV offering, you know, women showing up in payments of some kind. Do you have any concerns about that?
Well, of course I have concerns, because basically these 50 million profiles that were given to them are highly valuable. I think any company would want to get those, or if a political candidate were to purchase profiles, they would have had to spend a lot more money than it appears that the Trump campaign did. So that's one issue. The second issue is what they're doing with people's information. They're talking about sending Ukrainian women over to people's houses. I mean, this is bad stuff, and we want to hear exactly what happened. To me, that is a separate hearing from what we want to see for the broad hearing on social media, but this is a separate hearing where we want to hear from that Professor Kogan and Alexander Nix and see what exactly went on here and what happened with the Trump campaign.
Senator Kennedy, you were nodding up and down there. Do you agree that you should maybe have a separate hearing on Cambridge Analytica? What they are accused of doing has to exist within the foothills of creepy you talked about.
Yeah, sure, it is creepy. It's not the only instance.
Right.
I mean, politicians have been mining data on Facebook for a long time. We can go back to President Obama's campaign. Certainly President Trump's campaign did, other candidates as well. And I am interested in Cambridge Analytica, but I'm also interested in the larger issue. I mean, what's the proper role of Facebook in our world today? What, if any, regulation should we ask Facebook to apply? Is Facebook willing to solve these problems on its own, or do we have to give them a nudge?
Senator Kennedy?
And I'd like Mr. Zuckerberg to come. Last time he sent his lawyers. I don't know what he paid them, but they did a damn good job because they didn't say anything.
Senator Kennedy, shifting gears slightly here, there's been a lot of talk the last few days about the status of Special Counsel Robert Mueller. What do you think would happen if the president tried to push him out?
Well, I think probably all hell would break loose. I see no indication that's going to happen. I think we ought to let Mr. Mueller finish his investigation. I don't think the president's going to fire him. The president's lawyer said Sunday night they have no intention of firing him. I think we ought to let Mr. Mueller finish his investigation, then report to the American people and let the chips fall where they may, and I trust the American people to figure it out.
Senator Klobuchar, do you think there is a law that should be passed? There have been a couple senators, 4 senators, who have proposed different types of legislation to protect the special counsel. Do you think that's necessary?
I'd like to see those laws passed so that you have extra protection. But there were changes made after the Saturday night massacre where Nixon fired a number of people in the Justice Department. So there is some protection. And that protection is that you can't fire him unless you have good cause. Rod Rosenstein is running that right now because Attorney General Sessions has recused himself, and he has said there is not good cause. He has said that under oath. And I appreciated Senator Kennedy's answer, see, we agree on something else, that you have to let the special counsel do his job and get to the end of this investigation. Stop attacking him, stop attacking the FBI, and let them do their jobs.
You know, Trey Gowdy, Senator Kennedy, said if you're innocent, act like it. Do you feel like the president's acting like it right now?
Well, I think you have to divorce the president's words from his actions. I mean, clearly he likes to tweet. And I don't mean this as a criticism. I think the president grows anxious when he has an unexpressed thought. And he likes to say everything that's on his mind. But that's a long way from actually doing something and firing Mr. Mueller. And I just don't think he'll fire him. And I think Mr. Mueller will be allowed to complete his investigation, and hopefully he'll report to the American people and say, here's what I found, here's what I concluded, now you get to judge, you meaning the American people.
Senator Kennedy, Senator Klobuchar, again, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
We do appreciate that you did appear together. Good luck going forward.
Thank you very much.